So I have sore throat, so kindly bear with me. I was kind of discussing with Shivani whether I should come or not. But since I have a attachment with this conference particularly, because the third edition I'm attending, and I also didn't want to miss it. So I'll try my best. The other day I was, day before yesterday, I was in Hyderabad delivering a lecture, but soon after that I caught cold. And my flight was quite delayed. I reached in 3 a.m. in the morning. So that was the issue. Anyway, so first of all, I congratulate the conference, this third edition of conference. In the matter of few months, I think you have reached this milestone, and that is commendable. And I wish very best. And since you have invited me for this conference, so I have my attachment also, and I always want to be associated one way or the other. So I look after technology vertical in Delhi Police and also licensing, that these two verticals were mentioned. Cyber, no longer anymore, because because that was my additional charge. So a regular joint CP has joined just on Friday, last Friday. So, but I'll talk about that because I handle cybercrime for almost 1.5 years. So today, since only 10 minutes have been given to me, so I'll try to make my talk very contemporary. So I'll start with the challenges being posed by IoT security, cloud security, and drone-related security. Because there are three issues which really bothers me a lot, because the day before yesterday, we all have seen how pager attack, first time in history we have seen something like this. And yesterday, again, walkie-talkie based attack. So this is opening a new realm of security challenge, because we are holding our mobile set in our hand and we have the full confidence that normally nothing will happen, right? Sometime we have heard about some battery exploding, but that used to be very, very rare. I mean, the occurrence of such kind of incident is so rare that we hardly feel about it. But now, after this, this kind of attack, and suppose in future, other players, other adversaries also join hands, and if they also start committing something like this. So we have to be very much careful about, very much mindful about what is being now referred as supply chain attack. So this is a kind of supply chain attack, because the devices are coming, they are en route, and somebody is bugging that device with explosives or whatnot. So that is one thing I wanted to highlight today. And second, drone is also getting miniaturized. I mean, day by day, we would see tomorrow, because with arrival of nanotechnology and additive manufacturing, it is quite possible that drones will also get further miniaturized. So now the time will come when drone will enter into private space, the space which we try to secure by physical means. Sometimes the very size of the drone would be so small that it might, evade all kinds of, surveillance. So that is another challenge I want to pose. Why I'm raising this issue? Because public sector enterprises, government included, we have to rise to occasion, and we have to understand the implication of these kind of security challenges. Then 5G, as I said, that 5G is opening a new, new realm of communication in which ubiquitous computing afforded by IoT devices and cloud computing, that 5G will make remote computing and remote operation of IoT devices possible. So far, we have never thought about surgery being committed from long distances, because there was a time lag, and that time lag cannot be tolerated in critical application like surgery. Another challenge of similar kind could be remotely operated snipers. So far, we have never thought about it, because that was not possible. The time lag which was there in 4G would not allow anyone to operate a sniper remotely. But now with 5G, when we have 1 millisecond, latency, with this it is quite possible. A vehicle at the speed of 60 to 80 kilometers can be targeted. So we have to think in terms of VVIP security also. We have to think in terms of, somebody operating sniper very planned way and operating remotely without fear of getting caught. So nowadays, cyber criminals, they have the biggest advantage in terms of anonymity. They have the advantage in terms of secrecy. They operate from the veil of secrecy, It's absolutely difficult for us sometimes when they are committing such kind of attacks in a pre-planned manner, using all methods of secrecy and all methods of not getting caught. I mean, there are many ways of doing that, because darknet, we know that it's very difficult to get into darknet and try to understand what exactly is happening over there. A lot of illegal activities are happening in darknet. Cryptocurrency, blockchain technology is also supporting financial transaction in darknet. So all kind of illicit things, smuggling is happening in darknet, anti-national activities happening in darknet, narco-terrorism is happening in darknet, drug operations are happening in darknet, and the financial transaction which is required to run these kind of things is also happening in darknet using cryptocurrencies. So these are the technologies which are making life so difficult for law enforcement community, at the same time for all the public sector units, because there are many public sector units which are in supply chain, which are in critical public services, telecom, aviation, transport, grids, power grids, national public sector enterprises of national importance, nuclear power and whatnot. We are reminded of the incident which happened in 2010, Stuxnet attack in Iran. Their nuclear centrifuges were attacked. So first time IoT devices, remote devices were physically attacked by cyber means. So far we have heard about that, some person going to certain place and damaging or destroying certain things. But a physical thing is destroyed using cyber means, using some kind of remote operation. That is a very dangerous proposition, because this affords a kind of convenience to the remote operators, because they will not be physically caught. So all these things is creating a kind of ecosystem in which we have to function tomorrow. And being a member of public sector units, enterprises, it's our bounden duty to think about all these future challenges and rise to occasion and try to understand how best we can counter the challenges. So for example, power grid, we know that power grid is managed centrally in a very, I would say, collaborated manner, an integrated manner at a national level, integrating generation, transmission and distribution. So you can understand how complex this management is, and such an important system on which so many things depend. Our economy runs on power, and if there is some kind of disruption by any means, how challenging, how difficult it would be to mitigate. So we have to understand that part also, and what are solutions, because of course solutions are well known. Apart from securing something physically and by cyber means, we also need to understand the vulnerabilities we have in our own system. Most of the time, we try to secure our system from perimeter, using intrusion detection system, intrusion protection system, using all kinds of AI-driven anomaly detection system, signature-based identification of threat. All these things are fine. We can protect threats from outside. But what about threats which are within the system? For example, our own system is vulnerable on many counts. We are not aware. Only the adversary will find out those vulnerabilities. So it's high time we should start, do some kind of, as we know that VAPT, vulnerability assessment and penetration testing, is one way of doing this. So continuous audit is required of our own system. We have to understand about hardware injection, software injection. These are the kind of things we have to think about, how to audit the hardware we are procuring, because most of the hardwares are coming from outside. How do we ensure that the hardware we are receiving is from the trusted source? Do we have some policy? If you are not, very mindful about hardware we are using in our own system, perhaps that hardware itself will become a source of malicious attack. So we don't need an adversary from outside to attack our system. So this is software injection is still manageable, because we can read the code line by line and try and find out if there is malicious code hidden inside. But if there's something hidden in the hardware, in some chip which is malicious, there's some hidden code which will be activated only at certain instance, certain triggering event. And that is something we can think about. These devices, this pager, the report has not come out, but we can think about it. We can guess what might have happened. So we have to develop some kind of testing regimen within our system so that each and every device we are using, software and hardware, everything is properly audited and scrutinized, and also it should be brought in a policy so that during procurement, we are aware of this fact that when we are sourcing such equipment, such kind of possible attacks are not seen tomorrow. Second thing I want to highlight that we are in the age of Gen AI. Now, AI has become kind of, when we say AI, the traditional AI has become kind of traditional in a sense because people are talking more about Gen AI. So now Gen AI, generative AI and traditional AI, which is discriminative AI, both are playing roles together. And Gen AI is evolving so fast. You talk about text-based generative AI, where large language models, they are changing the landscape of technology in a big way. Every 3 months you'll find some new product coming out. And with this, I think it's a high time government system, public sector enterprises, we should also try to build up our own LLM. If you don't start from scratch, I think there will be a large gap, and we won't be able to meet the level of sophistication which every emerging LLM are posing to us. For example, OpenAI has created LLM, and now they have got GPT-4o, and then currently, very few days back, they launched O1 model, which is a new series of models, which has a lot of computational ability, reasoning ability, which was not there in GPT-4o to that extent. So where are we? Are we creating our own LLM? Or we are depending on OpenAI LLM and just using their API? How long will we be using their API? So we'll be fully dependent on them. And slowly and gradually, when we become addicted to their system, they will start, dictating terms. So we have to start from scratch, and for that requires huge amount of hardware resources. So again, the question is how much hardware we are manufacturing ourselves. We have to think in terms of, because future of AI lies on computational resources, storage resources. Do we have that much computational resources ourselves? Can we produce that much? Because all kinds of generative AI is compute heavy. A small amount of computing resources will not afford you that kind of sophistication. OpenAI is why it is ruling the roost, because it has such a huge resource in terms of computation that no other entity, no other company can match. And that's why we have seen that even Google, company like Google is also not able to meet that challenge. So we have to see that where we are in that race. We just can't afford to miss this bus. We have missed semiconductor bus. Now the quantum computing is again another race. And it's not for some kind of you can say vanity that we should also join the race of quantum computing, because we are not joining the race of quantum computing, will be losing out on many fronts, because quantum computing will afford us post-quantum cryptography, which will be redefining our encryption system, and old encryption system will go haywire. So if we are not invested into post-quantum cryptography, we will be again depending on some foreign entities. Second, the encryption is one thing where we can't trust anyone. We have to have our own standard, own design, and own algorithm, so that we understand what exactly it's doing. We cannot just depend on someone else's algorithm, because that algorithm can be in some way bugged to the advantage of the entity who has created it. So post-quantum cryptography is the solution to meet this challenge, but we have to invest in that. We have already invested in quantum computing. The 6-bit quantum computer has already been unveiled by CDAC and a consortium. They have created it. Government of India has created a national quantum mission, and over $1 billion equivalent has been committed for that. So it's a very good sign. Government is very much aware. The semicon mission is also there, semiconductor mission is there, and there's a lot of development is happening on semiconductor front also. So these are all good signs, but we should seize this opportunity, the kind of inflection we are in, where technology is going to redefine our lives. The nation states, the relation, geopolitics, everything will be decided by technology. This is unprecedented in history. So we have to think in terms of how technology can bring changes. We can't afford to, to lag behind. We can't afford to just sit back and see how things are unfolding. We have to be part of this process, this transformation. So that's what I want to share. There are many other things, some of the very good things which have happened in the educational front, because I feel that our students, our employees, they should also be well trained, well educated, well aware of the technological transformation which is happening. We just cannot be mute spectator. And for that, the many Indian technical institutes, they have joined hands and they have created long back NPTEL. I'm sure many of you are aware, a national program on technological enhanced learning. This is such a good platform. Nowadays, every student of engineering is using this system. So national level, this portal, which is having all kinds of courses, technical courses, and all the best professors of any institute in India, they are recording their lectures and they are putting on NPTEL. So even if a student who is not in a top engineering college, still he can take benefit from this NPTEL. And I am aware that many students, they are doing extra courses from NPTEL apart from whatever courses are being offered in their institution. And they are bridging the gaps because some institutions can't afford the best best kind of lectures, best professor. So this NPTEL is bridging this gap. So even students need to do more and more projects because classroom learning may not be sufficient, and here lies the need for collaboration between academia, industries, and government, and of course civil society also have to join hands, and this will work wonder because once we know the requirement of students know the requirement of government and know the requirement of industries, they will be more suited to the requirement of future, and they will be more adaptable to the requirement, and they will be more employable. So that's all I want to share, and if there is any question, I have finished my time.